If you're stuck wondering how to get your very first gig in music and try to make some money, this video is going to help you immediately. So I am going to show you all the tricks that I wish I knew when I first started. My name is Luan. I'm a professional musician. I've played over 1,000 paid shows. And when I say I played 1,000 paid shows, I only started gigging about 5 years ago. And so within 5 years, I crushed many, many shows to the point where I was doing, like going from someone who was zero, never played a show, to doing like 4 to 6 shows a weekend, and then obviously scaling up and making my shows more profitable, things like that. So this is the very, very beginning thing that you need to learn. So we're going to go through the 3 steps that are very, very important. First things you're going to do is you're going to learn the game. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to start gaining experience. And then the third thing that you're going to do is you're going to start getting into the grind and putting in the work. Okay, so let's get into the very first thing. You are going to learn the game. Now, when I say learn the game, you need to figure out what the ecosystem in your town or your city, wherever you live, or whatever the distance is from where you want to go perform. You need to find those venues. Find the venues that have live musicians that you want to get there, or if you're a DJ, whatever it is, find the places where you want to play. You need to go there and you need to check them out. When you go there, don't go there on off hours. You need to be there when other musicians are playing. So you're going to firstly find the venues, then you're going to go there when the musicians are playing. Now, the first thing that you're going to do as soon as you walk in is you're going to sit down and you're going to watch that musician like a hawk. Every single song that they do, you need to write down. And if you don't know that song, Shemaz it or whatever what's the app? I don't know. But write the songs down. Write every single song that they play down on a list on your iPhone, whatever it is, and then put like an asterisk or like highlight every song that you see that is either requested or other people in the crowd sang, or they engaged with the musician afterwards and clapped. Those are the most important ones. So you need to write down this whole set list. And then once you do that, make sure you can think of one cool thing that musician did. And if you can't think of one cool thing that the musician did, that means you are not very good and you need to start get better at hearing things and seeing things. If a musician is not exceptional at the actual performance, but is getting paid to do that gig, they're doing something right. So is their setup better? Is their look better? Is their sound better? What are they doing? Are their songs better? Things like, there's so many things that people do that are good, and you need to find the good things that people do so that you can start stealing them for your own show. Now, when that musician finishes their set or finishes their show, whatever you want to do, walk up to them, introduce yourself. I know it might be scary at first, but just walk up to them. You don't have to be like, hey, I'm blah, 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 and I need to do this, like extroverted, whatever. You just literally need to go up to them and say, go to shake their hand and say, hey, I really love the way you played this song and you were so great. Thank you so much for such a great show. Where can I find you on socials? And like, you don't need to be like, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. What's your name? You could just say, where can I find you on socials? Follow them on the socials. And then if they follow up with like, oh, are you into music? You'd be like, yeah, I love music. And then say to them, hey, I really wish I could be like someone like you who performs and makes a living through music. And you say, I'm working really hard to get there, but I really appreciate seeing you. It's so amazing to learn from someone like you just now. Flatter them. And seriously, be genuine. Don't be like rude or anything like that. And like, people can smell bullshit from a mile away. So if you did not pay attention to what they did and you didn't pick out the things that were amazing about them, then they're going to smell it real quick. They're going to be like, this person's just like being rude and trying to take something that I have. Instead, be genuine and just be like, I loved it. And I wish I could be like you. Because technically you do wish you could be like them. You wish you could play that gig. Now, that's what you need to do everywhere. And if that means you have to go to the same venue like 6 times in a row to get the best set list and figure out all these songs, and then you're going to compare the set list of every musician, you're going to build these interactions, follow up with these people afterwards, go to multiple of their shows so that they start to recognize your face and recognize you. You need to get into the ecosystem, and you don't even have to play an instrument to be able to do that. This is purely show up and do the work. And remember that this work that you're putting in, you might not be getting paid right now, but this work that you're putting in is putting down the foundation of in the future, and you have the skill set, you're going to make so much more money off of this stuff. It's insane. The amount of goodwill that just comes from being present and showing appreciation when people do good things. Musicians love that. And there's going to be plenty of times where these musicians can't make their gigs, and you want to be on the top of that list when that musician can't make it so that you can get that show, or they can introduce you to playing that show. So that's the very first thing. You need to learn the game. You need to learn where all the venues are. You need to learn where all the musicians are. You need to learn where all the musicians that hang out with each other are. And that is a pure hustle. So just give it a shot. See how you go. It might be terrifying at first, but after you introduce yourself multiple times to different musicians, you're going to get better at it. And it's going to help you a lot. Now, the next step in this process is you're going to gain experience and evidence. So right now, we haven't even gone to book our first gig yet. So we've just gone and we've checked out all the venues. We've spoken to the musicians. We're getting a good hang of like, what songs do they play? And what you're going to do is go through that list of all the songs that you've written down, and all the ones with the asterisks, put them at the top. So make a new list with all the songs that you see in common. So every song that you see, and the reason why I tell you to do this and not just give you a set list is because I don't know what's going to crush in your town. In my town, especially in Australia, there's songs like Horses by Daryl Braithwaite. And there's songs like, maybe just Horses, but like there's a couple of Aussie songs that are like, that are really good in Australia that work really, really well. And they might not work in Europe, you know? So like, I don't know what the best songs to play in the bar are going to be. I mean, I have a guess that are good, like, you know, learn Sweet Caroline, learn, you know, Brown Eyed Girl, songs like that, they crush no matter what. But the reason why you want to do this is you need to know the best songs that work in your town that all the musicians are doing. Now, the reasons why you want to be learning these you want 20 or 30 of these songs, by the way. Once you learn these 20 to 30 songs, you are ready. Like, you are ready to go hard and crush this. The reason why you want to know these songs is because the second that you do get hired and you open your mouth to perform, and if you perform a song that a venue manager or a bar knows is the right song to perform because they've heard that song by other successful people that they've hired, if they can hear that song, that you immediately tick a box of like, all right, one, they showed up, they look great, blah, blah, and then they played the right song, we're good. I don't have to worry about this musician. But if you jump in and you do like a deep cut from John Mayer or something like that, and you know, you start playing like this emotional ballad, they're going to be like, what? And then they think of you. The last thing you want is a manager to think of you. If someone is looking at you and then they're like, they have to think like, is this person good? Is they actually doing the right thing? And they have to pay attention to you. You do not want them to pay attention to you. You want them to do the opposite. You want them to hear you and immediately be like, they got it. Sweet. They now know you're a professional. You are now on their mind of like, I don't have to worry about that person. I'm confident about that person. I can hire that person again. So remember, that's the reason why you want to know these songs, because you want to start your show, crush these songs, immediately obliterate, and then be like, the manager's going to be like, yeah, this person's great. And if you do happen to know these songs, they will typically be songs that other people will sing and enjoy because you know that they work, and you will probably get a crowd that's singing and having a good time. So remember, that's a really, really important thing. So when we come into gaining experience and evidence, I'm talking about you are gaining the experience and you are building the evidence of what is good. And you know that you can crush. You know that you can do a good show because you know these 20 songs inside and out, and you can do a good job. And you know those songs will work. It's always terrifying when you see someone hop on a show and they literally play a song and they lose the entire crowd. It is not fun. But yeah. So that's the part that we're going to be working on. And now when we're gaining more evidence, you need to start documenting your process. So the best way to get like some documentation is get a friend to take a photo, or get like little videos of you performing. At the beginning, they're going to be really crap. Don't worry. Just use your iPhone. Don't worry about like some full production. You don't need to go spend $1,000 and build like a 10 grand website or anything like that. Just get a camera and have like some Instagram or a Facebook page, and then just post a picture of like, hey man, playing at this bar, blah, 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 or doing this open mic night. Go and play open mic nights. These musicians that you've become friends with, start offering free work. Help them out. Be like, hey, if I come and help you out, and can I watch you set up and I'll carry some of your gear in and blah. Like literally just go and offer your help for free. Be like, oh, do you want me to help you pack up your equipment? Can I do anything? Carry some stuff to your car? Ask them questions. And then say, hey, I've been trying really, really hard to perform. Is there a chance that I could like do a duo with you and like support you on guitar, and maybe we do like a rehearsal? You can do so many things where you can start building evidence that you know what you're doing. And then you go and play a show with this person. You do like 30 minutes with them and you perform with them, and it's really, really cool. And you have your friend take a photo, and then that's you on a stage next to someone who has authority because they obviously are gigging. So then when someone, and you're asking a manager, be like, hey, I would love to play some gigs. You know, I'm a friend of X, X, and X. And you have all these people that those people have already interacted with. You now gain leverage in that conversation because you're borrowing their authority to then show that you know what you're doing. So it's really, 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 really cool tactic to do. So all these tactics I'm trying to give you are all free ones that you can do to then get more work. The last thing that we're going to do after we've done all that is get into the grind. This is where you're going to make your ask and you're going to focus on getting good, not making money. And then once you are really, really confident with what you're doing, you're just going to hit as many venues as you can. Like, you have built the list of all the venues that you know have live music. And as soon as you're confident that you have done one show and you've been paid, or you've done one show and there was great response and you know the songs, just start hitting as many venues as you can. Reach out to them. Offer to do free shows. Be like, hey, can we do our first show free? And if I do really well, we can just do the next one paid. Do as whatever it is to get your foot in the door, do it. Just do it. And you can literally say to a venue manager, if you don't even want to do it, you can always pick the way that you want to offer the freebie. Say, hey, look, can I come and play this free show? I'll just play. We'll have a good time. No stress. If you guys happen to think it's great, let me know. We can book another show, and then that one can be paid. You like clearly show them. You say, I've been doing gigs. I've been doing duos. Been playing open mic nights. I've been doing a couple of gigs. I mean, you don't even have to go to that length. Just say, hey, I would just love to play gigs. Sometimes if you even just have evidence that you say, hey, this person played the gig, or that person might refer you to a booking agent or things like that. If you just say, hey, I'm a musician, I'm looking for a gig, do you guys have a spot? And they might just say, oh, well, the next spot's this. Or they might say, hey, can we do a meeting with you and figure it out? I have only ever had one venue ever ask me to do a meeting. And it was literally because they thought I was a DJ. Because that was my fault on my branding for my band. My band's called Sneaky Beats. And so people thought I was a DJ. And so they don't hire DJs. So when I reached out to them, hey, I want to do some gigs at your venue, they were like, well, we're a live performance thing, but we'll hear you out. They thought I was a DJ. As soon as I told them, oh, no, I'm a live performer. I play acoustic guitar and sing. They're like, oh, yeah, cool. Yeah, we'll book you this day. Da, da, da. And I was like, oh, my God. I just wasted so much time coming here. But yeah, that's essentially what you want to do. You want to get on the grind. You want to start making your ask. Typically, when you're in this spot, when you're getting your first gig, if you've done everything I've said beforehand and you've started actually doing it and you don't like skip it, you most likely would have been offered a gig. So just remember that when these people are offering you gigs, if they ask how much money you want to get paid, you can pick whatever price is. Just ask the musicians what the standard rate is. And you can say, hey, look, you could just say to them, look, let's just do this one for free because I've never played for you guys. And then you just give me feedback, and the next one you can just pay me standard rate. And then you can just like put the ball in their court and just ask them what the standard rate is. Like, you could just pay me standard rate afterwards. If they say we don't have a standard rate for musicians, you can be like, oh, well, how much did this person get paid? Because I don't mind matching that. Or you could just go up. You could just say, hey, I'm $200 an hour, which you know that they most likely won't pay. And you say, like, whatever your budget is, you just let me know. I'll make it work. You just like literally say, normally I'm $200 an hour, but you just let me know what your budget is and I'll make it work. And then they might come back at you, but oh, we'll only do 100 an hour. And they're like, yeah, that's no problem. We'll do it. It's easy. And then, if you get into that position, that's a bit more leverage. But when you're getting your first gigs, you just need to show up, say yes, make your ask. Don't be afraid. And definitely do this work on knowing what needs to be done. You don't want to be someone who's walking around being like, I have like this really cool Instagram page and I have this really cool video of me singing one cover. And then you go to play this gig and you have no context on how the crowd is meant to react. You have no context on the way the venue vibes and what the managers are looking for and what all the other musicians typically do. Use the evidence that you can collect for free. Just go get it. And if you're like, is this work? Yes, it's important work that needs to be done. If you don't know the vibe of the venue, you're screwed. Because you're just gonna rock up and do your own thing, and then the venue's gonna be like, maybe not. And like, the hardest thing to lose is first impressions. So I'm telling you this right now. It is so monstrously hard to beat a first impression. Now, I'll just give you the story at the end because we're at the end of the video now. But like, I showed up at a venue and I started playing electric guitar at my gigs because I found it was more chill for me and didn't hurt my hands. And I didn't notice a difference in the delivery of my show. It didn't make a difference because I was playing the right songs. I was engaging the crowd, did a really good job. And I like to do a bit of live looping. Now I showed up to this venue and the venue expected an acoustic guitarist. They expected me to have an acoustic guitar. And in their mind, I didn't make the checkpoint of having an acoustic guitar. Now, I personally crushed the gig. I had people coming up to me afterwards. I had people singing. I had people telling me, man, this is amazing. I was hitting all the pop vibes because they were trying to be less of like a pub garden or whatever. They wanted like higher market, like pop, really cool, nice stuff. And I was playing all of that. And then the venue manager was like, you're just not our vibe. And I was like, everything about my performance was your vibe. What was the issue? And it was my mistake because I was taking for granted that some of the people that were booking me just really liked my music. And then I forgot the simple thing of like, oh, who are the people that they're hiring there? And I looked when I was like, why am I not getting the gig and this person's getting the gig? And the only difference was they had acoustic guitars. Now, I went there and filled in for a friend. I played an acoustic guitar at that gig, did the exact same thing, crushed the gig, did the same response. The same manager came up to me and was like, man, you are so good. Can we hire you? Like, we'd love to see you play here all the time. And I was like, oh, funny you say that. I've played there before. Yeah, totally keen. Just like reach out to this email. I didn't hold it against the manager because it was my fault. So just remember, that was a big mistake on my part. That cost me a couple $1,000s because for those few months, I could have had that gig, you know? So like, remember, if you don't do your due diligence and understand the vibe of the venue, you could really screw yourself and you can make your life really, really hard. And it took that much time for me to then get another shot by accident to then convince that person, because I emailed that person multiple times and I followed up, hey, like, when do you guys have any spots on your roster? Do you have spots? And they just ignored me every time. And they're like, oh, look, you're not our vibe. You're not our vibe. I'm like, what do I need to do? And then it was just bring an acoustic guitar, play the acoustic guitar. They loved it. And I was like, oh my God, Lauren, you're so dumb. Once I realized that, I was like, oh my God, this is the mistake. And I never made that mistake again. Anytime I played a solo show using an acoustic guitar, ever since then, crushed it. Electric guitar I take for my band. So don't make that mistake, by the way. Look the part. Anyway, hopefully that helps you guys getting your first gig and not making dumb mistakes that I did. So looking forward to seeing you guys go through the rest of this course. But yeah, if you guys want to learn how to make money in music, go to our school. This is part of my online music school where you can make money in music, and there's heaps of other cool content that will help you guys get better at music as well. All right, good luck.